Welcome to the new episode of Green Guardians. I am Aishu Bharadwaj, Assistant Editor at TPCI. And as you all know, we are bringing new stories every day. But today, we have a prominent personality with us. Please welcome none other than Mr. Jaideep Malaviya. Welcome to our series, sir.
My pleasure. Pleasure connecting with your audience and to you.
Thank you so much, sir. And for our audience, I just want to tell you all who this person is right in front of me. Mr. Malaviya is the Managing Director of Malaviya Solar Energy Consultancy. He is also the founder and secretary of Solar Thermal Federation of India, which is, for your information, world's only solar thermal association of manufacturers. Not just this, the man has over 24 years of experience in solar energy industry, and he has presented over 100 papers in India and international conference. Sir, it is an honor to have you on our series, and I am extremely excited to have a chat with you.
My pleasure.
So, moving on to my first question, sir. I want to know the recent advancement in solar cell efficiency and their potential applications.
Solar energy, especially when we talk of solar photovoltaics, this has been around for now almost 50 years. But if we take, the last 2 decades where the real revolution happened, so this was limited to only one technology. That was, the crystalline solar cell. And the most common type of solar cell used was then polycrystalline. In fact, it continues to get used, but I would put it's now outdated. As demand increased, as people realized the value of solar energy, the potential of it, in technical terms, the need was felt that, there should perhaps be more generation in a given area. That led to a number of R&D institutes to come out with different type of technologies. Now, the early 2000, when we talk of, when, the real market took up, especially starting with Japan and Germany, the situation was such that there was shortage of solar cells.
Right.
And crystalline solar cells were, traded on spot at premium rates. That led to even development of alternative technologies other than the crystalline silicon called as the thin films, which use chemicals like the copper indium selenide, copper gallium selenide. As a matter of fact, one of the families of silicon cells called as the amorphous silicon, even that came into existence. However, silicon cell started, rather, it's one of the most robust technology. And it was identified that, a lot more needs to be done in this sector itself, in this technology. Where, see, ideally, our spectrum absorbs about 40% of the solar radiation light. Right? The rest are all ultraviolet, infrared. When we talk in technical terms, at least 40% solar efficiency we must get. The polycrystalline cells, which were then in existence, had efficiencies ranging from 11% to 15%. Right? 11% to 15%. Every single percent of an enhanced efficiency mattered a lot because it improves the economics.
Right.
And hence, then finer version came. Poly is basically the lower grade of the monocrystal silicons which are grown, which are largely rather used, are used in the semiconductor industry. But as the demand picked up, then there were dedicated industries or factories set up with the monocrystalline technology. Now, we can say kind of that was a breakthrough. Now, within monocrystalline technology, then, globally, startups, researchers, entrepreneurs started working out to enhance further efficiencies. Currently, we have a new version of a mono cell called as the PERC, P-E-R-C. I won't go into depth of it because I'm not sure your audience is scientific, but it increases efficiency by another 2%. So mono ideally offers efficiency at 16% average, With the PERC technology, it has gone to 18%.
Okay.
And now they are adding more layers to this monocrystalline wafer. You know, it's a wafer. Basically, it's a silicon.
Yeah.
The more layers you add, okay, they are called as tandem cells.
Okay.
Which has multiple coatings of different chemical technologies. Where now they are claiming even efficiencies of 28% are achieved at lab level.
That's great.
28%. Not only that, they are even excited to explore the ultraviolet and infrared light. So we are going beyond 40% now, probably 60%, 70%. So definitely, you know, with time, the technologies are rapidly evolving.
Right.
Crystalline virtually dominated 25 years. Today, you know, every 3 years we are finding a new technology coming up. Like the current technology they are talking of is the TopCon, which is an enhanced version of the monoPERC. And we may have much more layers added, and they may give a different name. So that's the as far as you know the developments that are happening in the solar cell technology. Application wise, well, definitely we are looking at 100% renewables, maybe 100% solar energy. So the applications are unlimited, but definitely where currently, you know, we need electricity at least, maybe not the heat. Solar cells would best fit in, perhaps as the economics improve.
That's great to know, sir. I mean, I'm sure that you said that you are not going into the depths, but that was an, you know, wonderful information to know. And with this, I want to move on to my next question. So, as we're talking about electricity generation, so how do you foresee diversification of solar applications in India, you know, beyond electricity generation, which includes water heating or industrial processes and cooling?
Great, good question. Yes, as I said earlier, you know, this sector is diversifying into every, you can say, area where electricity is required.
Yeah.
Right. Solar photovoltaic is virtually tapping every sector, right from, you know, a commercial grade to the farmers, agriculture, to even the rural areas where we are talking of. Okay. See, there's a saying, nobody can do everything, but everybody can do something.
Right. So
everybody today is excited to know, you know, where I can participate in a solar energy development and how I can best make use of it. Now that also says that, you know, whether if you want to heat water, the solar water heaters also. So everywhere it's happening. It's not that it is not happening. So besides this, now the solar energy technology is having wide applications. Solar energy for the interest of your or the benefit of your viewers or, you know, your readers broadly gets converted in two forms.
Okay.
One is you convert it into direct heat because sunlight is heat.
Right.
And the other is into electrical energy. We call it as photon. That's how the name photovoltaics is. The light energy is converted to electricity.
Right.
So both places, you know, both have their niche applications. If we talk of the thermal, solar water heaters were the very few technologies that dominated. In fact, it's a 40-year-old technology. And still it continues to be used. Now, if you talk, you know, when you want to heat water, any thermal application is ideal, a solar thermal. You know, don't think of using solar photovoltaic cells to heat your electrical element or the electric heater.
Okay.
Because the efficiencies of solar thermal are in excess of 50%, 50. Vis-a-vis, you know, currently we are talking of solar cell efficiencies of 18%.
Okay.
But they both cannot be compared. Where you need electricity, you can't have solar thermal.
Right.
Solar thermal is further diversifying also for industrial process heat. We call it SHIP.
Okay. Yeah.
So SHIP stands for solar heat for industrial process.
Okay.
So process heating, all these, and apart from this, the cooling. You know, India is one of the countries that has the highest cooling load. So both the thermal and the photovoltaic technologies can help in cooling. effectively, all this, what it will help, it will help in the decarbonization.
Right.
What all, all the countries have been asked to commit, they've been asked to commit to net zero. We are pursuing that. And I'm sure this is all progressing towards that.
Right.
So definitely, as I said, unless you don't melt the gold, you cannot make a jewelry out of it.
Yeah.
Correct.
Right.
So as they say it in Hindi, जब तक आप सोने को पिघलाओगे नहीं तो उससे जेवरात बनेंगे नहीं. So you have to do it. You have to explore the best. Right. And it's an eternal source of energy. Use as much as you want. It will never exhaust. As against, a fossil fuel, which are time bound, which are limited in nature. Right. So by God's grace, India has plenty of solar radiation, sunlight, and I'm sure this is going to be one of the technologies that's going to develop our economy, that will develop a lot of entrepreneurs, maybe a lot of scientists, plenty of jobs. So the future is bright. Right. All right, sir. So with this positive note, I want to ask my next question. How are innovative solutions like floating solar and integrating solar with agriculture to overcome land and resource constraint in solar adoption? Very good. Excellent. Now, these are technological, I wouldn't say technological innovation, but application-based innovations. Right. Today, I think you're the only person who can, simply and beautifully answer these questions. Honestly speaking, I'll tell you, 25 years back when I started my journey, we would dream this. We would dream this. And now it's happening. Can't the solar cells be coated everywhere? And then, people used to tell, this fellow is thinking something out of the box and is a crazy. Believe me, I am an engineer. I did my software project and I diversified this. But, we knew there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Right. All this could happen. All this could happen. So floating solar or the photovoltaics, that's the word they use. Or the agrivoltaics, which is to do with the agriculture PV. Okay. Photovoltaics. Agrivoltaics. Agrivoltaics and photovoltaics. Okay. So both, what they do is, they have multiple application use. Okay. Besides generating power. So what a solar, let's say a photovoltaics does is, you rightly said, you save on the land. Today, one of the constraints with solar photovoltaic technology or power generation is availability of land. Right. So things like, photovoltaics or even rooftop PV, why these are being used, or Agri PV is to make maximum use of the available land. Photovoltaics gives the advantage that you also prevent water evaporation. In fact, earlier we had the canal top. If you recall, or if you know, India was perhaps the first country to showcase. We are an agricultural country. We have a lot of canals where water is supplied to the farm fields. They were covered with solar panels because that land was available free, and you also prevented water from being evaporated. So it was a fantastic technology. No doubt, between 15 to 30%, you have more cost as your capex for your investment. But the amount of money you save on your land perhaps compensates for it. Yes, you need a lot of maintenance for the photovoltaics, but as far as agrivoltaics is concerned, I'm sure India is doing a revolution and it's growing at an exponential rate. And I won't be surprised, in another 25 years, perhaps every farmer, just the way they have the pump sets for irrigating their land, they will have solar panels on their top. Right. So Agri PV is going to become a real success. I'm sure about it. It's your vibe that attracts your tribe, they say. Right, sir. So I'm sure India is giving that vibes. Yeah. And I too believe that the day is not far, as you said, that when every farmer would have, this technology and they would surely not just use it, but exploit it. Absolutely. Yeah. So with this, as you're the expert here, so I just, what policies and, regulatory frameworks do you believe are essential to achieving the targets that our nation has set?
And what role can international collaborations can play in this, sir?
Okay.
Hmm.
See, one of our best success case studies, if you talk of international collaboration, is the International Solar Alliance, which
Right.
is the dream project. You know, in fact, it was a vision of our Honorable Prime Minister,
Right.
Shri Narendra Modi ji. Okay, it's the best success case study. Coming to, you know, what policies and regulatory framework, I think regulators are doing fantastic work.
Okay.
With every passing time, they have been looking at the regulatory issues that need attention. However, I won't say that they have completely achieved, but there are certain sectors where definitely regulatory issues are required. As a matter of fact, I'll tell you, I'll give a simple case. Solar water heaters, for example, you know, they are the best application for your demand side management.
Okay.
See, if they help in the peak power reduction, peak demand reduction. At a given time, let's say about 1 million electric geysers are put on during daytime. The same, if you have solar heated water stored, you can reduce your peak demand.
Right.
So here comes that, you know, the regulators need to take this into account. And the DISCOMs, you know, the electric distribution companies,
Yeah.
they will have to start encouraging consumers to opt for this.
Right.
Now, there could be one way of, you know, extending some kind of incentive, maybe a rebate in the electricity bill for those who use, you know, solar water heaters. So it will help the DISCOMs to manage power. It's a great thing. And that can even, in fact, be added to our national target of whatever we achieve. See, today, people view renewable energy as power generated through sustainable sources. A solar water heater, on the other hand, saves your energy. So it is as good as, you know, you generating electricity.
Right.
Electrical based heating is about 60% efficient. So you can convert to 100% using the solar thermal. So that's one part. Similarly, it goes with the rooftop solar PV.
Okay.
Each of these states have their own DISCOMs, they have their own regulatory framework.
Right.
Some states are very attractive, whereas in some of the states, you know, they have this perhaps a notion that if we start generating less electricity, you know, it will impact our balance sheet. How can we show growth in our company? Which is not the appropriate way. We have to look at going 100% renewables, a net zero by maybe 2070, what India has been given a target, 2050. Fortunately, we have to start implementing today.
Right.
And as I said, if land is a constraint for a rooftop, when you have your roof available,
Right.
why not use them? In fact, you can enhance your height of your solar panels, create a kind of a cafe or any recreation area below, just like, you know, the photovoltaics or the Agri PV. So, you know, a regulatory framework will have to work a lot. Similarly, you know, for the rural areas, they will have to set up distributed renewable energy systems.
Right.
So that, you know, 100% electrification can be achieved.
Right.
And it is here where, you know, your storage system will come into place.
Exactly.
I'm sure there lies a lot of room for innovation in that. I'm sure, but definitely the regulatory authorities are doing a fantastic work and much more needs to be done and they will tackle it.
So your suggestions are, worth, noting, and I'm sure that these, suggestions are going to help for the viewers and people who are watching this interview. And moving on to my next question. How do international collaborations and knowledge exchange, through organizations like ISIS benefit India's solar sector? And can you share any success stories in this context?
Well, as I said earlier, one of the success stories I can say is the International Solar Alliance. I already said.
Right.
But collaborations, I would say, do it now. You never happen. If you say, better be late than never, it will never happen. So it's do it now. I'm sure a lot of international collaborations are happening now. They have realized the potential in India. India is going to be that numero uno country which is going to showcase the success of renewables. If I understood your question rightly, yes, the number of international players are now looking to India for two reasons. One is on the application side, we have plenty of sunlight.
Right.
So, it makes sense to invest.
Right, sir.
On the application side, and we can harness this energy.
Right.
Okay, number one. Number two, India is known for a technical brain power. We have technologists, and even a blue collar job or a gray collar jobs, if you say, they can deliver results.
Right.
So now India is also being looked, besides, maybe one of the largest countries which has the highest workforce, as a potential country that can be the world production center.
Right.
It can be supplied to the world. We can even provide the quality. Thanks to some of the policies now that the government of India has brought out, which has liberalized. Now, the way India's solar energy has grown in the last decade, it has caught the attention of all the international institutions, the associations.
Right.
And International Solar Energy Society, ISIS, I was elected rather, and I defended let India be the next venue for the Solar World Congress, which is happening, now from 31st October to 4th November.
Okay.
Last it happened was in 1978. Probably somewhere not even born here, like us. We were just toddlers, like me. And they realized, yes, it goes without saying. There is no doubt about it. We must have in India.
Right.
The way we have shown, that solar energy is a doable technology, is a commercialization technology. So that speaks. And as a result, I'm sure a lot of investment will happen in India, a lot of jobs will happen, a lot of activities are going to happen.
Right.
That's the best success story I can share.
Right. So for all those who are thinking of investing in India, sir has rightly said it is the high time. And to my next question, moving on to my next question, sir. What are the projections and forecast for the future of solar energy, especially, in terms of technology and adoption?
Technologies will evolve.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's the basic fundamental of science.
Right.
Knowledge exchange, yes, there needs to be done. The Western world should look at being liberal in exchanging knowledge or sharing knowledge. No doubt, as far as, the developing countries are concerned, they do not invest much in R&D. And it's but natural because, due to the limitations of the funds they have. But where the developed countries or the Western countries, they have their R&D. Enough funding, they have technologies evolving. It's time that, they share it. Come, invest in India. See, price is what you pay. Or other prices, what you pay. Value is what you get.
Right.
So you'll definitely get a lot of value. You have paid a price, no doubt, for your R&D. Why not get the value here in this country? Okay.
Right.
Also, a lot of climate finance companies will have to look to these developing countries with easy finance. I'm sure that these technologies being one-time capital investment, it becomes many a times a deterrent. One has to think.
Right.
Unlike, traditional energy sources, that is pay as you go, we say. As you consume, you pay. Here it is, you consume unlimited, but you pay one time.
Right.
And that one time becomes a value. So easy financing is what something also the international organizations or the agencies will have to look into. And not only that, but technological developments. I'm sure that they will have to invest equally in R&D in countries like India or the developing countries, whatever we say, China or the African countries. Here also, there is a possibility for R&D. So collaborate with the institutions, with the organization. I'm sure that you will be able to achieve.
Right.
So there's plenty of room in that.
Right. So, and with this, I'll be moving on to my last question, which I, don't want to finish this interview, but I have to. So, for aspiring professionals in India's solar industry, what advice would you offer to make a meaningful impact in sustainable energy solution? And I think this is the, most sought out question, which, our viewers must want to know. Please, sir.
Well, I would say one thing. Please, you will have to sacrifice a lot of your luxuries if you really want to see your country grow.
Right.
Head of the country has given us a message, 24/7, we want renewables.
Right.
So everybody, please, 24/7, put in your heart out and put in that effort. Well, we are not asking you to do at the cost of your health or anything. Yes, you need to have leisure, you need to have rest, but give more than 100% of yours.
Right.
Don't leave behind anything. The capabilities are there. So today, entrepreneurs or the startups, whosoever are there, I would only give them one advice. Please work with your heart out, very honestly, diligently, in order, if you wish to see the future bright, both your future generations as well as the future of this country. This is one sector which can make even India, if you talk of, as the superpower in energy sector.
Right.
But to achieve that, one will have to give, as I said, more than 100%. So I won't say 200%, 300%, that you decide, but definitely give it above 100.
Right.
And the day you do it, and believe in yourself, don't give up. All right. The curves will go up and down, so not to worry. The world is big. There are too many people. Everybody needs energy. Energy demand per capita is growing. So you don't have to worry about the market. The markets are there. How you best fit competitively is what you will have to give.
Right.
And everybody of you can become lakpati, crorepati, or a millionaire or a billionaire, whatever it is. Aim for that, but don't be greedy. Aim for that. I'm sure you will be able to give the best. That's my only. In Hindi, I'll add in the last. All right. Some viewers may understand कि बीत जाती है सारी जिंदगी ढूंढने में कि ढूंढना क्या है. बीत जाती है सारी जिंदगी ढूंढने में कि ढूंढना क्या है, जबकि यही नहीं पता कि जो मिला है उसका करना क्या है.
Right. Very, very.
Right. So you can translate if you need it. I won't take much time. Good luck to all the startups, the entrepreneurs. Hum rahe na rahe, whether we are there or not, keep the sun bright in our country.
That's great, sir. Great. I think one of the finest ways to, end this interview. And trust me, the last answer has some or the other way converted into a motivational booster dose. I do not belong from, totally belong to the energy sector. Still, I am, all boosted up, motivated that yes, we can do anything in our life. And thank you so much, sir, for taking out time. It is, it was one of the most amazing interviews I've had till now. Thank you so much. It is an honor to have you here, sir.
My pleasure. My pleasure to be with you all also and to connect to all of you.
Thank you, sir. And I wish you all the best. And I just also wish that you keep inspiring, upcoming leaders the same way you're doing now. And for our audience, that's all for today's episode. We leave you with this insightful conversation with Mr. Malaviya. And till then, keep supporting sustainability. Thank you.